Look at that. All right, so I have some kick combinations today because it's sparring day. But I figured we're all up to the challenge. Yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
I've got some high belt rank ones too. Ooh, one might be for purple belt because Miss Anvita tests soon. Hint, hint, wink, wink. All right, so the first sparring technique I want to go through is actually just one with our hand, one for our purple belt. It's with our hands. It goes right middle punch, left ridge hand. Yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
So, we're in our sparring stance. Let's first of all just re-go over our punches for those of us who need a refresher, like Miss Kara. Miss Kara needs a quick refresher.
Oh, yeah.
When we punch, we have our guards up by our face. Yes, ma'am? Everyone show me their sparring stance. I'm going to bring my arm out and I'm going to turn it over. Yes, ma'am. Big two knuckles up. And if I'm punching with my back foot, I'm going to take a scooch. If I'm punching with my hand that's on the back, I'm going to make sure that I pivot, meaning that my back foot turns over. Yes, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Call the pivot like that for a reason.
Anvita, there she is.
And all of our punches are aimed to our solar plexus. So you guys have a camera right in front of you so you can see. When you punch, it should be aiming towards your solar plexus. The solar plexus is where your ribs meet. It's also called your sternum. If you're wearing a gi top, it's where the V meets. Yes, ma'am? Whether you have the one that pulls over or ties, it winds up being around the same area. Yes, ma'am? So that's when we punch. That's where we're aiming towards. Capiche? Kaposh. All right, so let's go over that ridge hand really quick. So we're doing a right middle punch. Let's give it with our back hand. We're going to do a right middle punch. Ayah, bring it back. That ridge hand's going to be with my left hand. Hello, if you have to make the L's, go ahead and do it. But a ridge hand goes straight out like a spear hand, and then it turns at the last second. Yes, ma'am? The best way to put it is imagine a hook punch, but you forgot to turn like immediately. So you wind up doing it later. Like, oh, I'm going for a spear hand. Oh, no, it's a hook punch. I'm going to turn it at the last second. Yes, ma'am? And my hand is open. Everyone show me open hands. Action figure hands. You're ready to go to the, I don't know.
What's the TikTok?
G.I. Joe hands. So, that's what we're doing. We're going to use this bone right here. If you see, if you hold up your hand like this, there's a little bone right here by your thumb. That's what we're using for the ridge hand. Yes, ma'am? Not our fingers. That's going to hurt. No phalanges. Just the bone. So, we're in our sparring stance. Let's do this in slow motion. It's a right middle punch. And then my left hand does a ridge hand. And when I do this, my hips do turn a little. Yes, ma'am? Because power comes from my hips. Shakira would be proud. Because my hips don't lie. I say that joke every time. I need to pick a new one. So, right middle punch right here. Aiming towards our solar plexus. And my left ridge hand is aiming towards the occipital, the back of your head. Yes, ma'am? Thumbs up. Any questions, Miss Anvita? I'm just looking at you because it's for purple belt. Let's try it really quick. I'm going to have Miss Kara hold the pads for me. You guys are going to do it in the air, or if you have a pillow. Actually, if you have a pillow and maybe someone to hold it, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to go grab it. Time starts now. If you don't, though, looking in the camera is super duper helpful because it helps us aim. There's Will. He's got a pillow. Fantastic. Oh, Landon's got one too. Here he comes. Here he comes. All right. Cool. All right, so have someone hold it for you. If you don't have anyone to hold it for, that's okay. Because in my opinion, looking in the mirror is just as important.
We lost Will.
We lost Will and Landon. No! All right, so we're not whacking our brother just yet. I know it looks like a lot of fun. Miss Anvita, you have a question.
I couldn't find the person, so I just put it on like a chair.
There you go. That works. That works great. Okay. Cool. Yep. So, we have our time now. Here's how this is going to work. I'm actually just going to use one, you'll have one hand like this, and one, like you're setting up for a down block, like you're doing the whoa. Grab the other pad.
You just told me to put it down.
I know. So, Miss Kara's going to hold one pad up. You probably want to do it like this and just hold it here. Just for me for right now, so I can show you your zones. Other way. That way they can see the ridge hand. There you go. So, the right middle punch. I'm having her hold this here so that way you guys can see. If you're doing it with a partner, one pillow works fine. Just pretend you're going for the ridge hand. Yes, ma'am? So, I'm in my sparring stance. I do my right middle punch with a nice pivot. I punch, and then I come back to do the ridge hand. In the real world, I'd be like this close. I'm taking a scooch back to show you, but I'd be here, and then I'd be here. Yes, ma'am? Let's switch sides, that way I can see the camera just a little bit easier. So left hand on top. Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna do my right middle punch, and then my left ridge hand. Let's do 5 of those. Yes, ma'am? So guards up, and middle punch, ridge hand. That's 1. Always bring our hands back to our guard. Middle punch, ridge hand. That's 2. We're going to do a middle punch, ridge hand. That's 3. Middle punch, ridge hand. That's 4. Middle punch, ridge hand. That's 5. Yes, ma'am? Out there, you would do it both ways. For your purple belt, you need right middle punch, left ridge hand, but we're going to switch it because we need to do it both ways. Yes, ma'am? So switch your guards with a super big ki. Ready? Ayah! That was more like a Chewbacca yell, but you know, I'll take it. Chihuahua yell. So this time, I'm going to do a left middle punch and a right ridge hand. Yes, ma'am? So I do my left middle punch and then my right ridge hand. So 1, 2. Try to make them as fast in motion as possible. 1, 2. Just hold out here. 1, 2. That works too. 1, 2. Yes, ma'am? Let's try it. Hold the pad. Oh, wait, you guys have to switch too. Yeah. If you haven't switched sides, switch person who is doing the technique. Let's do it. And middle punch, ridge hand. That's 1. Middle punch, ridge hand. That's 2. Middle punch, ridge hand. That's 3. Middle punch, ridge hand. 4. Middle punch, ridge hand. 5. Let's do 5 more. If you have a partner, pass the pad across. Get ready in our sparring stance. And middle punch, ridge hand. That's 1. Middle punch, ridge hand. 2. Middle punch, ridge hand. 3. Middle punch, ridge hand. 4. Middle punch, ridge hand. 5. If you look, when I do this, when I do my middle punch, my belt flies one way, and then my ridge hand makes it go the other, because I'm using my hips to do the 1 punch where I pivot, and then I turn it back for the ridge hand. Yes, ma'am? Thumbs up? Thumbs up. Fantastic. Cool. All right, I want to do one super duper quick kick combination because I think we've got enough time. Yes, ma'am? So put your pads down. Put your bags down. I want to do a side kick from a cat stance. Yes, ma'am? Everyone say side kick from a cat stance.